just a minute while my computer warms up. And of course I didn't leave my fork out here. Why would I? It's not like I need it to eat. I can just shove my face into the plate.
He's like, what are you doing?
If Weasley's here, that means it's Sookie outside. She does not need another notch in her ear.
That orange cat has been hanging around again.
Fonzie, go. Come on. Sookie? Come on, Sookie, get inside. Nicely. 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 Is anybody here yet?
It says count is at 0.
Okay, well, let me make sure everybody on Discord knows we're open. No, Fonzie. No. Oh my god, Firefox is installing updates. Oh my god.
And that's why you should use Chrome.
Oh hush. I hate Chrome. Oh, who's on? Shy! Hey Shy, how are you? It's been a while since we've had you at one.
I am just finishing up my food. And Geek is getting on, so then we will be starting.
Yeah, I've had a very, very long day at work, so I apologize. It has taken a few minutes.
What should we start off with tonight?
I think everybody really wants to see the Thralls.
I meant, are we showing artwork in progress?
I think the people who turned up here should get to see what you've been doing. They should get to kind of have like the privilege of getting on and seeing what you've done so far before it even hits Patreon. I told you it's been a long day, baby. It's been a very, very long day, and I'm very, very tired.
I got 3. So, here in a minute. I'll bring up that artwork.
Oh, hey, Blondie, I'm glad you could show up again. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Remember last time we did citizens and residents, and we talked a little bit about the difference between the two. In Verdant, citizenship is a privilege. It's something that has to be earned. It's not something that's automatic by living there. So, if you live there, but you're not a citizen, you're considered a resident. Residents are typically what you would call the working class, blue-collar workers. They tend to have a little less. So I wouldn't say impoverished necessarily, but they can't own property, they can't get married, they can't buy places or own businesses, so they tend to be the workers. That being said, it's still possible to prosper as a resident. Here we have two typical residents of Verdant. So you can tell, they're doing okay. It's not like they're suffering. You have a barmaid and you have Baker Daddy, who, just to be clear, Baker Daddy now has an official name. He is Paleo. He is very, very happy, and he even has a backstory, and if you guys really want, I will tell you his backstory. Dumplings.
Sorry, no, that was a really annoying sound.
Dumplings. His curly shoes. Yes! I like his curly shoes, and obviously you can see Doe did a really, really good job on creating these characters, really developing them. And they're not necessarily going to be in the game. They're just examples of what residents in Verdant look like. But Baker Daddy, I think, already has a following, so he's probably going to end up somewhere in the game at some point. And really good detail. You gonna show off his hairy chest? You gonna show off his hairy chest. You can see some of the detail work. I think last time we discussed that the way you show wealth in Verdant is by wearing layers. So you can see where even though they can't afford like as many layers, they've still done what they can to show what they have. Who's Blackwall? Why do I feel like Sookie's gonna be doing that all night long? Ah, okay, Dragon Age. If you hear an angry cat in the background, we have a stray cat that's been wandering around and has made enemies with our cat Sookie. She hates him. She wants to murder him. So we're trying to keep them separate, but if she can see him, she's going to snarl at him. Are we pulling up the citizens? Hey, Bumble! Just making sure everybody knows there's a live stream going on. So the citizens we talked about, it's a privilege you have to earn. So what we have here are two citizens, Verdant being a matriarchy, most of their citizens are female. The one on the right is probably a little wealthier. She probably owns her own business. She probably has, a good chunk of property. And the one on the left is a military girl. She's in her fatigue, so she's not wearing her heavy armor and everything. But as you can tell, their fabric's a little nicer. They're wearing more layers. They're able to kind of show off what they have a little bit more. And you can really see it now. When you become a citizen, you're given a mark under your chin. It goes through the middle of your upper lip, all the way down over your chin and onto your throat. And I think we decided it was a scarification mark. So when you finish with your trials, or you complete your military service, you're given that mark. And that lets everybody know you are a citizen. One second. like I said, citizenship is something that has to be earned. It's not something you get. You can't be born a citizen. And because of that, there are certain privileges involved. Lodal! Oh my god! You actually have the night off to be at a stream. What the hell? So yeah, as a citizen, you can do a lot of things in Verdant. You have the ability to own property, which means you can have land, you can have a building, you can build your own home, you can own your own business, you can legally get married, you can pass your property on to your child, you have the ability to have a role in politics, you can have thralls. Just being a citizen provides you with a lot more opportunities, which is why it's something that is so very pushed in young women to achieve. Yeah, we really debated back and forth whether to do a tattoo or scarification. In the end, I think I wanted scarification because it's a little less common. And I was really worried that if we did tattoos, it would come off like we were copying from another culture. And I really wanted to avoid that.
All right. Did you get that document I sent you?
Haven't even looked at it yet. I'm really sorry.
And do you know how to do polls?
I think so. Alright, let me get into some kind of comfortable position. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm all higgledy-piggledy right now. It's just been a really long-ass day. And I'm still a little all over the place, so I apologize. Okay. Okay. It's common in a lot of traditional cultures, but it's not as known. Residents can only apply for thralls in extreme circumstances. Like, okay, for instance, if a resident is pregnant and has no one to help her, she can apply for a thrall and probably get one to help her out with things while she's pregnant. Okay. Baby, what? Why do you keep giving me that look? I have sinus issues, I'm tired, and if I got a hork, I got a hork. Now, what's the pole place we typically go to? Straw poll?
Yeah, but that's not how you do it.
Okay, how do I do it?
Go to the chat.
Okay.
Exclamation mark. Poll. New. Space new.
Space new.
Space. Your question statement.
So, like, who was
Well,
she?
just do a test for right now.
Okay. Who am I? Okay.
I forget what it's called. It's like a straight line separator. It's right above your shift.
Not right above my shift. It's all the way up here. Okay.
A space. First question. First, like, option.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Here, let me see. Is that just your... Why are there two lines?
That's not, it's who am I.
There needs to be a space between the I and the dash.
Okay.
And then, so option, space, dashy line, option,
okay.
you know. And then you hit enter, to send it to the chat.
Yeah, that didn't work.
You put an extra dashy line at the end.
Okay. Exclamation, poll, new, who am I? Geek. Plus. Yeah, that didn't work. Hey, Dragon!
Let me load.
Yeah, she's trying to teach me how to do it so she doesn't have to fuck with it and stop the stream.
Maybe you don't have permission. Need to reconnect Nightbot. Okay, now you try and copy and paste what I just put in.
Just copy and paste the whole thing? Because this is what it looks like on my screen.
Yeah, but do you see where I just said, exclamation mark, poll, new, who am I? Why don't you just try that?
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, did it. Alright, yay! So I can run polls tonight. So, now that we've got some people in here and I have some relative idea of what in the hell I'm doing, we're going to be doing three characters tonight, 3 groups. We're going to be doing Thralls, we're going to be doing an older woman, and we're going to be doing a child to show you what they look like. Hey Maury, haven't seen you in a while. And The Rock. Oh my god. Baby, you're going to have to make The Rock something you can actually get in the game. Because everybody wants the damn Rock.
I did.
You did?
I changed it in the demo. You can now keep your rock if you want. You put it in your pocket.
Did you hear that? You can go back and get your Rock now, guys. You can have your damn Rock.
You could also throw it at a bird if you want.
I really want to know if everybody is going to go back right now and get the damn Rock back. Okay, so we're going to start with our first question. So the thing you have to know about thralls is that thralldom is not meant to be a permanent state. It is essentially indentured servitude. If you commit a crime in Verdant, they don't have prisons, they don't have dungeons. You are sentenced to thralldom for a certain period of time. During that time, you pay off your debt to society by serving Verdant in one way or another. You are assigned to go somewhere, basically, and do what they tell you to do. I'm trying not to get stuff dipped in the dumpling sauce.
Yes, please.
once you perform your task, once you serve as a Thrall of Verdant, you're freed, and you can basically go back to whatever life you had before. If you were a citizen, you go back to being a citizen. If you were a resident, you go back to being a resident. So, it's supposed to be a way to pay your debt and to make everything level again. Now, of course, like any system, it gets abused, but that's the original intention. So, let me just copy this here. Everybody went back and got the rock. So, this means there's a couple of little loopholes. If you were, say, a bandit before you were arrested, if you serve your thralldom, you now have the possibility of staying in Verdant. What happens to your property while you are in thrall? There's a couple of different things. If you are placed as a thrall and you have property, it is kind of put in charge of your next of kin. One second, I got rice stuck in my tooth. So, if you own a house and you fuck up and you end up as a thrall, you can give the property temporarily over to another member of your family. It's one of the few instances where, let's say, the property is yours and your husband is a resident, they can act in your stead while you're in thralldom. It doesn't make them a citizen, it just means that for the moment, they can take care of everything. But in all likelihood, you wouldn't hand it to your husband. You'd probably give it to your sister or your mother before you gave it to your husband. I'll put your vote in for you. Bandit, huh? Now, being a bandit would carry a pretty hefty fine to it. So you would probably be stuck in thralldom for several years. And that's assuming they don't have proof you killed someone. You can thank Doe for that. He said the game's already looking hella fine.
Just because you can keep your rock now. That's gonna have to make it into the final, you know that, right?
The rock's gonna have to have a purpose in the final. I just don't know what yet. I got a rock.
Maybe that could be like the rarest item you can get in the whole game. And make that sucker hard to find.
Yeah. At the very end of the game, your character is victorious in their journey. You've accomplished everything, and you get a rock. Let the rock be a rock. Don't force your ideals on it.
If you lose the rock, instant game over.
Oh my god.
You know, I didn't realize when I sketched these two body forms that she's looking directly at his penis.
I mean, maybe he's got a nice dick, okay? So, let's see. Let's see who's won so far. Right now, Bandit is a clear head.
Keep in mind there are two Thralls.
That's right. So, there is two options in Verdant. If you are arrested for a crime, especially a more severe crime that involves property damage or physical injury to another person, you're generally given a choice. You can choose thraldom, or you can choose to be exiled. Exile is a dangerous fucking risk, because if you are kicked out, you are outside the law, which means anybody from Verdant who finds you can kill you without repercussion. So most people would rather choose thraldom than risk wandering around in the desert waiting to see if they get caught and killed. I mean, it's the difference between 5 years of your life, 10 years of your life, versus your life being shortened real damn quick. So in order for her to be a bandit, we're placed in a very interesting position. It means one of two things had to happen. Either she was born in a bandit group, or she's been exiled before and she was caught. So that comes up with an interesting story arc. If she was exiled before and caught as a bandit, she's in a high position of risk, because if anybody recognizes her, she could be killed right away. Well, execution can come into play in the situation of, well, pretty much what I just said. If you choose